So geopathic stress. Everybody knows what geopathic stress is? Exactly how it affects you? No? Well, it's negative earth energies. It can accumulate with underground streams, especially dirty water. You'll get geopathic stress with two crossing lines where there's an oak tree. So don't go under an oak tree if there's going to be lightning, thunderstorm. Another place where you'll find geopathic stress is where there's underground stations. So obviously London's covered in underground stations and negative energy lines. You'll also find it in mining places, when people are doing renovations, when there's roadworks, anything like that where there's a disturbance to the earth. It's a disturbance to the earth that causes it. So it'll be war zones, mental hospital sites, any trauma to the earth will cause geopathic stress. Now, there's been lots of research on geopathic stress. You'll have heard about the Hartman and Curry grids, those are well known. Also about Kathy Bachler, she did a lot of research with children with ADHD, and by moving their beds simply off the geopathic stress lines, then these children got better and they weren't so with ADHD. And the same with Hartman and Curry, Dr. Hartman and Dr. Curry. They discovered that by moving their patients' beds that have got cancer, then they got better. It's not necessarily that the cancer was caused by the geopathic stress, but it certainly didn't help. It affected their immune systems and lowered their immune levels. Now, what it can do to us is it can cause nausea, headache. People can have alcoholic problems, depression. And this is at the lower end of the scale, so you get diabetes, gallstones, things like that. At the higher end, then you get the leukemia. What else do you get? Cancer. Now,
MS.
An MS, yes. lots of things, Parkinson's, etc. So, when we're looking for geopathic stress, you can look for signs in the landscape. So when we go out, we're going to show you signs in the landscape. You might get cankers on trees. So where you see the tree trunk, you'll see the cancer. It looks like a cancerous growth on the tree. You'll also see there'll be gaps in hedges and hedgerows. Stunted growth. Trees and bushes won't grow. Flowers won't bloom. You'll also see parasites like ants, wasps, beetles, things like that will also thrive in this area. Cats love it. Dogs don't, unfortunately. They're like us. So even if you have a proper cat, a live cat, that will thrive on geopathic stress. But you'll find also that ornamental cats, people in their homes will put ornamental cats where geopathic stress is. In your homes, you can look for clutter. And when we go outside, you can look, and there'll be lots of clutter. Last time I took a group out, we found there was a manure tip right in the middle where two lines crossed in Regent's Park. So there's all these signs all the time around you, so you have to take note. Maybe at home you might be having lots of electrical breakdowns. You might find that you have water leaks. Just take note. At home recently, I had loads of ants in my house. And I think, oh God, what are you doing? What are you giving to me? All these ants, where have they come from? And I took notice, because at the end of the day, ants love geopathic stress. So, I had the usual people in, like Rentokil, everything else. And I did manage to get them, found where they were, my bathroom. That was it. Wall came down, thousands of these things came out. But at the end of the day, those ants told me there was a water leak. So the water caused the problem. The ants told me where to find it. So it's taking note, not just seeing the negative side of things also, but seeing, actually, those ants told me what my problem was. So then you've got the positive side, you can deal with it. So just be aware of all these things around you and your surroundings. Now, when we're using dowsing rods, hold them at hip width apart, and let's see if there's any negative energy lines here. I can see one for a start, it's right there. Right there. So I always ask, please show me any harmful earth energies. And then you get exactly what you're looking for. You want a crossing point. And if you see that dirty splodge there, you see it on the carpet? That is a sure sign to me that that's going to be a crossing point. So you've got the line that goes this way, and when you go back, you've got a crossing point there. And when I'm standing on that crossing point, it does feel quite, how do you say it, sludgy. And as I've just had my lunch, I'm feeling really hot and horrible, so I'm going to walk in. But I'm just going to stand on the single line so that we can get an idea of what the line is, what it feels like. And Berenbaum Pole, he's another German guy, he made a scale of 1 to 16. So when you're on the line, you can measure the scale and think, well, is this 8? Is it above 8? Yes, it's above 8. So 8, 9, 9. It's a 9. It's a 9 line. So if I went to the other line, and I did the same there, oh, I've got a 7. So it's 7. It's 7. So if we stand on here, I've got a 7 and a 9. Now, that's 16. So that's a cancerous strength. So it's even confirming cancer. So if you're in that energy for a long time, say you're sleeping in that, working in it, sitting at home in it, watching the TV, you're going to get the symptoms of cancer of some sort over time. You won't get it immediately. It will come over a period of time, depending on what your immune system is like. You know, how you've been treating yourself. Do you go to bed regularly, sleep regular hours, don't drink too much alcohol, etc. It all depends on your immune system. Some people are more prone to cancer. You'll find that you have a partner, they could be sleeping on the GS, you are not sleeping on the GS, they'll get more affected. And then later in time, that partner, you find, moves over to this side of the bed, and they are affected in the same way. So you just have to be aware of these problems. I found that when I went to a place in Northampton, there was this lady, and Matt dowsed her home before I went there, got all the geopathic stress lines marked out, and I said, there's a bit of problem with somebody sleeping here on their neck area. I said, they've had cancer of the lymph. How do you know that? How do you know that? And when I got to her house, she told me that her husband had died a month previously, and he'd got cancer here of the throat. And now she was sleeping in that same bed. And she'd also now got a cancer problem, but hers was lower down on the breast. So we moved her to a safe area in her home, and she had to sleep in like a single bed, etc., for 3 months to rid her body of the geopathic stress. But it worked. With the cancer treatment and getting her out of the geopathic stress, it worked. She was safe again. And now she's going back into the bedroom, but we've moved her bed now to a safe spot. So you just have to be aware of what's happening in your life, in your body. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to go out and do a bit of dowsing with our dowsing rods and see what we can find in the park and come back. And we're going to use then crystal grids and crystals to help alleviate the effects of geopathic stress. Right. Now what we're looking for now when we're dowsing, if we all get our rods out, so you can all hold them hip width apart, and now you're going to look for some earth energies. So you're going to say, please show me some harmful earth energies, or please show me where the harmful earth energies are. So when we walk forward, now there's bound to be someone here, because if you look there, they're throwing sort of all their rubbish down by the hut there and all that sort of thing. So look for signs. Cross the line there. So now we need to say which way is this line going. So you can use your rods as a pointer. So the line that I'm on now is in that direction. So it's the line. So now I'm going to ask now what it is on the Van Pole scale, 1 to 16. So I always start with 8. Is it below 8? Above 8. So it's above 8. So we've got 9, 10, 10. So it's a 10. So is this detrimental to me at this time? Yes, it is. So you can ask all these questions. Would it be detrimental to me if I stood here all day? Most definitely, yes. Yeah. So, you know, you can ask all that. You can also ask how wide the line is. So you've got a centre point. So I'm going to go and reach out now. 1. Show me the outer edge. So the outer edge is there. And if we go out the other way. Right. So it's quite a wide line. Normally you get lines between 2 to 4 foot wide, but I found the longer I do this work, the lines seem to be getting bigger and bigger. And where you've got to be most aware of is the centre line and the outer edges, because they're the most potent. And when you get two lines crossing, when you have this line and another line crossing, that's even worse. Because can you imagine, you're in a bedroom and you've got a line that wide and then another line crossing it that's just as wide. That's going to cover your whole bed. So it's not very good. So then when you found your lines, you need to have a look for the other signs as well, like trees that bend. See, there's one over there, and he's got cankers on him too, if you look at that tree down there. And there's another tree with cankers. So I would bet that there's a line going between those two trees. And again, you've got the rubbish pile coming up here. There's all little signs of things that aren't quite right. So, yeah.
Can you get geopathic stress on higher floors in an apartment block?
It goes up from the ground
So
upwards.
it can be on any floor?
Yeah, and it'll be the same all the way up.
Okay.
It will just get less and less maybe all the way up, or even some geopathic actually stress starts higher up. Yeah.
But how can it start higher up?
That sounds a bit silly, but some people are protected. I've been to a house and I've actually got to a bedroom door and then the energy line's diverted and it's gone round their bedroom and their whole bedroom space is protected. There are just some people that are protected for whatever reason. So you might find, that's what I'm saying, that the people below the energy lines are protected and above it you get the geopathic stress again. So there's all different reasons and levels of geopathic stress. And look to see what's gone on around you. Ask about predecessor chi, who owned the property before you. You know, what happened to them? Did they have bad luck? Were they ill? Did they have bankruptcy? Were they divorced? It all affects the house. It's all energy. Ask about it.